I'm Geechee, ho, I'm Geechee, I'm Geechee, ho, I'm Geechee.
Oh yeah.
So I started going at them, and then when I started going at them, they put me in the Bing, and when I got to the Bing, then it was over. Then they sent me the oath, and they was like, "Yo, man," and I was like, "I bet, man, I'm in." You know what I'm saying? And I came in, and when I came in, you know what I'm saying, it was all from there. We if we went to court, it was on. If we went to the yard, it was on. And everywhere we went, it was on. So
it was just on site period with them?
Yeah, it was on site because they had it on site on us.
Oh, okay.
So basically the way it was like this. You go into a house, you were neutral or blood. But you go into a house where the majority is Latin Kings and Nietas. They got the house on smash. So you walk into that house, you're not going to be able to just pick up the phone and use it. You're not going to be able to go on the floor and visit the floor and see your peoples. And maybe you know what I'm saying, you do your thing or whatever and come back and you got to share with them. I was seeing all that type of thing. So I'm like, man, I ain't trying to hear none of that, bro.
None of that.
So I'm over here, so I'm saying to myself, I'm joining the cause because right now we're being oppressed.
Right.
And then we had on top of that, then we had the corrupted CEOs, man, that they was coming in talking about, yo, we're gonna do a search down. They ain't coming to do a search down, they come to beat dudes down.
Yeah.
So that even brought me more towards the cause. So I'm like, yeah, I'm in it, I'm 100% in it, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So then from then on, I was on go time. They kept me in the box for like 9 years. They wouldn't let me out the box. I was doing motions and all that to try to get out the box. But they was like, nah. But after 9 years, they let me out. You know what I'm saying? And I went to population or whatever and whatnot. But
they kept you in the hole for 9 years?
Yeah, they kept me in the hole for 9 years. You know what I'm saying?
That's like the shoe. That's like the shoe out here.
Yeah, that's the shoe, basically. Yeah, that's what we call it, the shoe.
Okay.
I was in the shoe for 9 years. You know what I'm saying? From Rikers Island to upstate. You know what I'm saying? So I was in Rikers Island Bing from 93, because 92 when I came in November. So it was more 93, 94, 95, 96. I'm in the Bing on Rikers Island. 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. I'm in the box in upstate.
Right.
New York, in Southport. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's because, listen, when you have a cause, there is no slacking.
Right.
You can't slack on the cause because you already put yourself in it. Now you got to go 100%. You know what I mean? So now the way it was for me was I was just thinking just the same way as my enemy is on site. So anytime I saw one of them, I was popping. I wasn't going to say, oh,
where you from?
He's one of them, but he's not gonna do nothing to me. Nah, it's none of that. We're not taking those chances. He got to go. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm on go time, and that's the reason they're like, nah, we're not letting him out the box until he calms down. And then you had them, like I said, you had them CEOs, they'll come in, talk about a search down. It wasn't no search down. So the minute the gate cracked, I'm coming out swinging. I'm knocking out captains, wardens, all that. Because I didn't care about the color of the shirt. Like, oh, he's a regular CEO, he's a captain, he's a warden. And if you see on my greatest hits, I done knocked out captains and wardens, which was a lot to a lot of people because they weren't willing to do that.
Right.
They weren't willing to go at white shirts. You know, that's what we call them, white shirts.
Right.
Hierarchy. They wasn't willing to knock out a captain or knock out a warden. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew you got to take the beat down.
Yeah.
And you know, when it comes to beatdown, you know, I say Rodney King was a lucky dude, man, because he didn't have half of the beatdowns that I had. You know what I'm saying? He had it only for that little duration of time.
Right.
I had it going over and over and over and over again. I couldn't even count the beatdowns. I couldn't even count the times that I was handcuffed behind the back in my drawers in a cold cell and just stood in there for about maybe 2-3 days. You know what I'm saying? They throwing bullpen sandwiches for me to eat. They giving me a little cup of water. You know what I'm saying? They'll call that bullpen therapy. You know what I'm
just
saying?
to keep you alive.
Yeah, that's all they were doing, giving you something just to keep you alive, make sure you don't die in there. But you're suffering. You know what I mean? You're going through the sufferation. You're cold. You're naked. You're handcuffed. You're chained. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's when I started inventing ways how to get out the handcuffs.
Okay.
And that's what happened one time. You know, they put me in this room. This was after I beat up the warden. They beat me down, sent me to the hospital. And when I came out of the hospital, even though the hospital didn't want to release me, when I came out of the hospital, they sent me to the Beacon. When I got to the Beacon, I went over there. They beat me down again. Because, you know, you beat up a warden, you're going to have beef with all the police on the whole Rikers Island. Because that dude was like the highest of the high that I put the beats on. You know what I'm saying? So they put me in this room, and they had me handcuffed behind the back, chained from my legs to the leg of the bed, to another leg on the chain, to another leg on the bed. It was some old Harry Houdini type of stuff, but it was meant to make me suffer and break down, right? So I got out of all of that. I started breaking the handcuffs. I figured out how to put the handcuff in between the grooves of the bed and push down and pop the handcuffs and break them. You know what I'm saying? And once they saw that, they're like, oh, he's breaking the handcuffs. He knows how to get out the handcuffs without using the key. You know what I'm saying? That's when they sent me to NIC. And NIC was like a gallery that had high-profile cases. You know, dude, like I was on the gallery with the Zodiac, the New York Zodiac killer.
Right.
The Central Park rapists, all these dudes that had high-profile cases. Tupac was there for, I think, about 2 days or 1 day, and they took him out of there. You know, but that's what they started to do to me, you know what I'm saying? Because they was like, yo, this dude, we got to shut him down somehow. And they couldn't.
Total isolation. They need to be able to watch you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I was, you know, the oppression was so live back then. I would say that Rikers Island was literally on fire. Yeah. And when I say that Rikers Island was on fire, it's because every building was popping off. The wall was all over the place. You know, I had to save a dude's life in the bullpen one time. And that dude, I cut him so bad, he started squirting out the blood out into the catwalk. And the police that's sitting at the desk, he's looking at a flying liquid that's flying out of the cell. But he's looking at the floor, you see that it's red. He said, oh. And when they came in there, they came and they saw the dude was cut. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing about that is that these are the things that I was seeing when I was an adolescent.
Right.
Because when I first came to the Fort Bills as an adolescent, I saw dudes getting beat up for their clothes. Though they used to call it going shopping. Right. Going shopping was anytime you go to court, you put on your bummiest stuff, your bummiest shirt, your bummiest pants, your bummiest sneakers, and you go in there when everybody's in there waiting for the bus to come and pick them up to take them to court. Dudes in there getting beat up, stabbed, cut. You gotta, take that jacket off. Take them sneakers off. What size are you? Take all that off. You had dudes butt-ass naked on the gate. Yo, CO, get me up out of here. He ain't got no clothes on. Then it took everything. So here it is. I'm coming from the juvenile spot to adults, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, they playing a different type of game over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing dudes get cut, and I'm seeing dudes get cut by their old mans and all types of stuff. So this is what gave me a different peripheral vision. I had a different peripheral vision from then on. You know what I'm saying? I was watching everybody. Even those that was claiming to be my man's man, I was watching them. And I lived my life that way all the way till I came. Even to this day, I'm like that. Right. Because, you don't never know. You know what I'm saying? People turn, people lose focus, people lose fire. And what happens then is those are the ones you got to watch. Because when they lose their fire, when they change their lifestyle, those are the ones that's like looking at you now. When at one point they was looking with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when I got into the movement, man, I got into the movement because I love the cause, man. I love to go against oppression. You know what I'm saying? I started reading a book like Uprisings. I started to learn about, Robert Lee. And I started to read about T. Rogers, and I started reading all these people. I'm reading about them because I want to know what I just put myself into.
Right.
I'm not getting it from the person that's advocating it here in New York, because what he's advocating here is coming from a book that's written by somebody that ain't eating blood. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know the real. So I started to get all these books. I started to read all these books and started to learn it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always wanted to reach out to the homies in the West Coast, because no matter what they say here, the West Coast is the motherland. It's where it was created at. You know what I'm saying? So you can't go and say, now we here, they there. Once you hear that type of we here, they there type of stuff, then you know that they really not 100%. They can't be 100% into something, and they know that the history of it comes from over there.
Right.
But they're gonna try to deny over there and say, no, they over there, we over here.
Yeah, that's what I tell people, man. No matter what it evolves from, everything we do in life started somewhere. You know what I mean? Yes. And if you don't know where you started, how do you know what you're doing? You know what I mean? If you whether or not you do it different, you still need to know how it was started. No matter where you at, what kind of life you live in, you need to know what the fuck you doing, how it started, or you just making shit up.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
You gotta know.
I salute that, man, because I've actually heard people say, yeah, we doing this, but we don't do it how they do it over there. It's different. It ain't the same. Well, what you mean it ain't the same? If I see somebody, if we out in public and I see somebody doing something to you, I'm helping you. You know what I mean? Because you claim what I was representing. If we still on that page, I don't care what city, state, coast, none of that. If you banging the same shit I'm banging, no matter the politics, no matter the neighborhood, you just from a different neighborhood from the way I look at it. You know what I mean? The way I see it, if we both bloods and I don't care if you from Africa. If you saying you a blood and you pushing like I'm pushing, and so it's some shit, then we just popping.
Facts. You know what I mean? You know what made it special was acknowledging each other. You know, you gotta remember back then, it was a small amount of us.
Yeah.
So we knew that all we had was us.
Yeah.
So whenever we bumped with each other, it was like, oh, it's like you're bumping in with your long lost brother or your best friend. So, oh, what up? Oh, he up there, he banging. Hold on, I'm going upstairs. I need to holler at the home, yo. What's poppin'? It was brotherly love. You know what I'm saying? It was all you happy to see somebody that's fighting in the same struggle as you.
Doing the same stuff. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's only a little bit of y'all and there's a lot of them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's what made it so precious. What made it so sincere was that the little bit of us went against the majority of them. And we was winning.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. We winning with the little bit that we had. But still, you always gotta recognize where it came from.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing, is like no matter, I mean, excuse my interruption, but no matter how big something gets, and no disrespect to anybody's organization, you guys all know I'm just doing this to spread knowledge. But no matter how the bigger something gets, the more they forget how it started. You know what I mean? And what it was about. Like you said, you guys started over there as to protect each other from oppression, which is how blood started over here in California as well, is to protect the urban neighborhoods against the bullshit that was happening back in the days. You know what I mean? But like you said, the bigger it gets, the more it gets clouded, the more anybody can be involved, the more people start thinking about money over here and women over here and forget about the brothership, the brotherhood. You know what I mean?
Yes, and you know, that it's deep that you said that, because, you know, here's the difference between the West Coast and the East Coast.